LA three-way. 3 a.m., my private Idaho, where the 405 curves 10 east, my favorite overpass in the world. You'd make a great cop. You got more wrong things right than anyone I know. She never have a man before. You very lucky, some cabbie says. The absolute has no door into it. Emptiness, no exit hatch. Self and lust and the higher I in an LA three-way of all things. How we got you. African Doodad Shop, Hollywood Boulevard, on Cherokee at the time. We weren't fucking much, too bad. We both liked to, but you know how marriage is. A friend of your mom's with a thing about the brothers, where I got that good weed from, suggested this therapist. I had 3 teaching jobs, your mom full-time captioned, grad school, USC, in our 30s. Guess we were the shit. I'd remembered an African art class I took at UC Santa Barbara before dropping out as an undergrad. R. Campbell, Mr. Foremost World Expert, Mali, Mauritania, Nigeria, Chad. Fantastic slides. I'd just trip. We wanted a baby, use it or lose it, the Jewish therapist said. Her office in the guest house of Lillian Gish's old Hollywood Hills homestead. When I saw the wooden Hollywood Boulevard Fonte fertility doll, I bought it, though I knew it had been mass-produced. Your mom thought it butt ugly, like a gremlin. I'm not having that buck-toothed thing in our bed. Still, for 2 months, I snuck it under her pillow, just like the clerk, Mr. Prince, had said. It works? I asked. He grinned. Yeah, man, if the boat of you believe. The boat of us. I liked that. No question the boat of us was into this. I read somewhere men's penises snap. Often. But I didn't pay that much mind. I was on top of your mom when, like the mast of an HMS schooner, the timber inside me cracked. Man, did I come bad. She always cried when she came, before laughing. We both knew you'd been had. Oh, just wait. No. Now I'm flustered. I won't be able to say anything. Okay, this is called Trains. We moved to San Luis Obispo from LA, from the Hollywood area, on the strength of one job I thought I had through Cuesta College, which ended up being 2 hours a week. And then we got divorced. Trains. San Luis Obispo, California. When I moved here from big city, trains were in the hills, night fucking angels, sucking, breaking, metal root reaching, where the we as ice plant keeping me had gone. Go tired frog, chorus, chorus, eucalyptus, frog chorus of have you come? So that when you left for your 24-count child molester, I had to warfare blind, angry children, tomato seed inane-eyed small-town cop. I won the understanding of an idiot's arm around the moon, bright scaffolding, full physical, legal, of my son. And he was for that we would walk the tracks, stolen radio, bourbon angel, iron the moist, blood, and run. And I would smash inside your Jehovah's Witness rocks at cars, come swaying fat. I would shoot you, come. Coupling and uncoupling trees, some driver's side swung open to fornicate. 2 teenagers in a minivan shooting crows. Were I to go to the pen, what I wouldn't do. My boy wouldn't have a dad. What I wouldn't do to avoid having to kill. Thank you. My ex ended up marrying a convicted child molester, so that's kind of what that was about. No end, and this is the poem that David Dominguez mentioned. No end, my body felt the same weakness, everything, just like yesterday, only this was a year ago. Shot in the head, my Devon, as he drove down a residential street. He'd hold a hand to his mouth when he laughed to cover that crooked tooth. He'd been so chubby as a child, baseball cards, comic books collecting as soon as he could read. As a teenager, he seemed to grow tall, lanky overnight. Hairstyled, shirts matching his shoes, always groomed, his friends calling him pretty boy. He was shy, always hanging back, letting all the others hold court. When we went to a club with his friends, he'd lounge along the wall, refuse to dance. He was going to City College then, wanted to be a police officer, he said. I'd just bought him the white Monte Carlo. He was so proud of those new rims. The night he was shot, he was driving to his girlfriend's, crashed into the Thomas's garage. The neighbors heard him try to restart the car. That's where he died, they said. I better read something lighter. We have 11 cats, and they're indoor cats. That's enough of a poem right there.
That's an outdoor owner.
Yes, exactly. I'm really gonna be in the doghouse if I keep this up. Okay, the 11 indoor cat blues to Donna. We've got 11 indoor cats, not one knows how to talk. We've got 11 indoor cats, not one knows how to talk. 12 cans of Friskies, Primo clay litter, all they do is squawk. Opening doors and spotting the bath mat, I can take care of that. Opening doors and spotting the bath mat, I can take care of that. It's when they defecate on the carpet that what's shit upon is shat. They sleep in shifts in bed with us, 5 to 6 at a time. They sleep in shifts in bed with us, 5 to 6 at a time. 2 on my head, 2 between my legs. I'll kill you. You say I'm lying. They drape my wife like an Afghan when we watch videos on TV. They drape my wife like an Afghan when we watch videos on TV. It's worse than Nightmare on Elm Street. What with the bills I'm going to see. As Phil mentioned, I teach a lot in corrections. Right now I'm the artist in residence at Coalinga State Prison, or Pleasant Valley State Prison in Coalinga. For 25 years, I've run the Writers Workshop program, which I started at Atascadero State Hospital. And when I was bringing up my son, I would take him wherever I had workshops. So I would take him to South Central LA, and I would Southeast San Diego, and the Mission in San Francisco. And this is a poem that I actually wrote on a map of California when I was driving to Stockton, and he was in the back seat. Summer Eve south of Stockton. 100 well-behaved right lane trucks, fast lane I-5, 80 miles per hour, twilight toasting the minds of bugs. Phone pole hawk, beak tucked, crop duster, Christmas time green, envying the guy whose first kiss must have taken hold in rich rye of such an instant just past. Ah, the heat of it. We're no more than bread. Back seat, my son, you'd think, asleep on the upholstery of heaven. For an instant so righteous, I'm entrusted with so much. Night's just a nest. My job's just to drive. For an instant so righteous. Phil also mentioned that Diane Souza will be reading here. She's a great poet. And she's become a close friend of mine over the last 10 or 12 years. This is a poem. I'll dedicate it to her because she said she really liked it. I love painters, and I wish I was a painter. It's called The Man Ray Story. And there's a little epigram: to create is divine, to reproduce human. and that's Man Ray for you. Of course, it's his photography that's wonderful, really wonderful. The Man Ray story. Lips were a flag for bodies. Many people flew at once. California was a beautiful prison. Movement and sexual tension. I'm sure it's the same way now. I was of my time, simple. If you explain the woman crossing the street, I'll explain the object of myself. It's funny, I'm trying to go by the numbers, and now they're just all getting in the way. You see, I've cleverly numbered the pages I was going to read from. This is called Canto 11 from the Book of Divorce. I'm happily married now, so this is from my first marriage. It's pay a bill, make 5 phone calls, have a thought, die. Pay a bill, have 5 phone thoughts, make a call, die. Drive to die, make a storehouse, have a phone child, sigh. Make a call, have 5 phone bills, drive to store, die. Sigh a phone child, eat a bill, make a springtime, cry. Cry a paycheck, read a bill, eat some crying, pay. Make a color a call, smile a smile, eat. Phone a smile, fake a paycheck, color son's phone bath, bathe. Bash the laundry, phone a bed sheet, wish a phone girl ball. Bill a number, buy in the newsprint, smell some flowers, cry. Gas the car up, bill cat food, vacuum to flee thoughts, eat. Call the sunset, bill a sunrise, pace the kitchen, breathe. I've been married now for 11 years, and my wife and I have been together for 17. She's Chumash, and the Chumash, part of their territory was off the islands off the coast of Santa Barbara and north, and I guess in south. So much for my geography. But they were kind of extolled as the blonde Indians. And they were blonde Indians because for about 200 years, the Russian traders passing through, well, basically kind of raped them. At any rate, this is called Yellow Leaves and Mattresses. Tudana. The Indians called it Hard Drive, Tehachapi, town where your mother lived. Months after your brother bled out, died hemorrhaging, his brother-in-law rakes the room. First I raked bloody T-shirts off the mattress, which had grown ground beef. O. Henry wrappers, computer keyboard, ripped jean patch cords, silver-orange wing of a Caltrans vest, one little house on the prairie VHS. Death by six-pack, mostly. Blood-crusted, 2-foot liver, puddled by the door, brown broken wine, green mold walls, black panties like a mamba from the corner, seemingly somehow alive. We blessed his ashes, tossed his ashes, swung the little tin around. Steel Bridge, Cold Springs Canyon, San Marcos Pass. It seemed Chumash, because you guys are Chumash. I liked my brother-in-law. He was 45. When I lived in LA, when I was at USC, I founded a journal called the Southern California Anthology. And the fiction editor became a very close friend of mine. His name was Stephen Corbin. He was a novelist who ended up dying of AIDS. I'm sorry to give you so many death poems and everything, but at any rate, dear Stephen, today I heard you died 6 months ago. Charlie told me he'd run into Lorraine, that book fair, Westwood. You know the one. You didn't think it'd get you. Bad flu, growing stronger, pneumonia, later, long time positive, HIV. You did it. Sold your first novel. Remember the party? I do. Beat of the Tom Tom, Terry McMillan, Vanessa Williams, A Soldier's Story, The Principals, Your Longtime Paramour, then also Positive, How You Loved Sting. More for his looks than his music, I always thought. No easy place to be. Someday up on the Carson, even Arsenio, you'd said. I could care less about TV. You didn't seem seriously black enough somehow. But what should black enough seriously be? We lit up often. I didn't mind you thinking I was cute, funny, most sensitive white boy man you ever knew. Often, literally, dear in London likened to Jimmy Baldwin, like your Jewish agent, maybe even actually said. And sometimes I was around, you know I knew, to make some new white lover jealous who doesn't ever use color or sex. Serious enough, you were the only one. Real enough. If you had to choose between your writing and your wife, which would you give up, you asked? Those kinds of questions. My wife, I said. And 6 years later, me, my verdant, saltine, soft California ocean countryside, you live, 2nd Street, NYC, marriage kaput, so it went. She said to me, you don't have a conventional bone in your body. That's just what I love about you, brother. Busting up, woman put it perfectly. Then 3rd novel tour, blonde, Quebec qua, banker boy, new lover, my advice, you solicited. What is it about you and those Aryans, man? Blondes and dusters on 5th Avenue and shit. Such times firing up, phone crazed for hours, shared histrionics, faded fools, faux, incensed. You were in Baltimore, the Mexican lover, thrown food, his family, more thrown food, his bedside snits, seizures, fits, his last 7 weeks, the chronic OZ I sent. Good comrade Derek knew you died 4 months ago. I called the Aspite each week for 2 months. He has yet to call me back, bastard. Why do we have to find out this way? Why? How your respect for my work still uplifts me, though where to go with it? I left a message on my ex's voicemail, but fuck if she bothered to respond. She and I having to leave your birthday early. Too many black people. She so disconcerted, and me so freaking ashamed. I went to your 34th birthday, a much better time alone, enjoying your friends spanked on steroids. If only they'd been women. Hitting on? Nah. I would have reined it in. One of the few artists I've ever felt tight with, the mother of a so-called anthology, that fuzznut statue of Tommy Trojan, your galactic generosity of spirit. Who knows what might have been? And I'm going to read one more for you. And this is sort of the title track of the book, Countless Cinemas. And I really love cinema, so it's sort of a natural title. And over the last 10 or 15 years, I've really come to love Buddhism. And this is sort of a Buddhist-based poem. Countless Cinemas, with thanks to Donald S. Lopez, Jr. The Yogacara speak of a form of consciousness where all the seeds of past deeds are deposited. One by one, these seeds come to fruition simultaneously, creating a person and a private world. A universe of closet-sized cinemas, each occupied by a single person, eternally viewing a different film. Everything is of the nature of consciousness, the product of one's own projections. Ignorance and suffering, believe the Yogacara, result from feeling the movie to be real. Thank you.